The old stories have faded and dissolved, returned to the light and been recreated as infinite particles of creation responded to you as the master that you are. Explore these thoughts on receiving spiritual care from someone of a different faith and giving it. We live in a multi-religious, multicultural society. This is a treasure, but it often comes with challenges. When hardship and crisis strike, we are rightly grateful for the kind souls who rush in to care for us, especially those who offer spiritual and emotional care. We are all one. There is only that one God, and yet that oneness also experiences individuality and differentiation of itself through each and every one of us because He, our most holy and loving Father, gave us complete and utter freedom and personal and inviolable sovereignty when He created us. Why? Because love just loves, and it wants its creations to be as free as it is to create. Using the one mind that it shares with all of its holy creation, and in doing so allows and encourages all to live in peace and joy, sharing the love, the oneness that it is. Today shows what quality and nature you are. You have healed your heart and opened it so that all people can share in your love. Compassion and kindness, joy and peace, truthfulness and wisdom are your attributes. You have begun to reveal yourself to those around you in this way. This leads to the healing of humanity and brings the healing of the earth. What is sick will become well, for every living thing is now undergoing healing. Even though dark storm clouds are descending over this earth right now and people are beset by fears, now is the time when everything will be reversed and returned to divine order. We're often asked, is so-and-so in my life also a master? Is so-and-so in my life going to experience realization? Is so-and-so going to remember, if they choose it? You're a master because you have chosen to be. You are powerful because you have chosen to be. You are realized because you have chosen to be. You are the powerful creator of your reality because you have chosen to be. This is the experience you have chosen. If others are choosing an experience of being controlled by others, that is their choosing. You are creator within your own creation, and everyone else is also creator within their own creation. It's not a hierarchy. It's not a better than. Everything is potential. Everything is possibility. Only from your own judgment of yourself do you judge another for what they have created. Who are you to be a master? Who are you to be powerful? Who are you to be realized? The one who chose it. You have chosen this. You have chosen this. And that is why you're here. That is why this is your reality. That is why you drew all of this to you. Or even the caring person in the checkout line who reaches out when we are in a vulnerable moment. Increasingly in our culture, however, those kind people practice faith traditions that are very different from our own. How can we receive the grace they offer in the spirit that they intend? And when we are the ones helping, how can we be of greater service to folks whose faith is different from ours? If you are the one being cared for, it is important to remember that you and your caregiver are both human too and have the same human needs, feeling, aspiration, and struggles. No matter how different your spiritual paths might be, simple kindness and compassion are a universal meeting point. If your caregiver is a professional, you can trust that he or she has been well prepared for ministry and is a person of significant spiritual maturity. Most likely, there is nothing you are going through that he or she has not seen before. To awaken is to know and to experience your natural state of oneness uninterruptedly once more, as all memories of unreality just dissolve into nothingness, because they never happened. Untold and unimaginable joy awaits you all. Life will be new, fresh, beautiful, and perfect, just as it has always been. And you will realize that you have missed absolutely nothing during your state of temporary amnesia. Infinite joy is always yours because it is an aspect of love from which you have never been separated. Choose now to release your fear-driven grip on the state of unreality that seems so real to you. As you experience life in form, observing all the pain and suffering that is rife across the world, and know that all is indeed well as you all. Each and every one of you in your own unique and essential way, magnificently assist in humanity's collective awakening process. This is the only reason why we get the impression that everything is changing for the worse and that the end of the world is only a matter of time. The quietly enlightened ones, the silent knowers, and the silently awakened ones are not noticed on the world stage because they fulfill their role differently and their healing work can do without this stage. The great mystery of this time is that the massive consciousness processes that have been taking place inside more and more people for decades initially seem to have no direct effect on external events. This is because everything is working and aiming towards the tipping point. Until that happens, the old system and the old players seem to have the upper hand. However, nothing is more wrong than that, because the end comes when no one is expecting it anymore. You chose this. Why did you choose it? Because you knew abundance was the truth of you. Because you knew well-being was the truth of you. Because you knew love was the truth of you. Because you knew freedom was your truth. Because you knew how fun it would be to play and create at the highest levels. To experience joy and love and freedom at the highest levels. You knew how fun it would be to choose happily ever after. You know. And you've chosen this. You've chosen this time. You've chosen it all. Your caregiver may also surprise you with his or her knowledge of your tradition. Caregivers are often used to working with people of diverse cultures and traditions, and are often well informed about many of them. Most importantly, remember that no matter how exotic your caregiver appears to be, he or she cares about you, respects you and your spiritual path, and wants to help. If you are a professional caregiver or just a compassionate person who has an opportunity to give comfort in a difficult moment, remember that a person in need, no matter what his or her faith tradition, has the same needs as you do. Grieving people need comfort, and frightened people need encouragement. You will not be able to use the sources of spiritual wisdom that you would with someone of your own faith, but kind words, caring presence, and reassuring touch are universal. Remember to be humble about the truth claims of your own faith. What we don't know is always far greater than what we do know. And while our own tradition is rightly precious to us, it is not the only way to walk a spiritual path. Different doesn't mean wrong. We must always be diligent not to fall into the trap of privileging what is dear to us. Love is the infinite vastness of pure energy in which God and all of her creations experience the absolute wonder that is life, whether being experienced in form or as pure formless energy. Living life in form, you are very aware of what appear to be totally different forms, supposedly dead matter. Plant life and life forms that feed off other forms, and yet, as your science now realizes, there is no dead matter. Life is movement, and even what you consider to be solid and unmoving is, at its deepest and most minute levels, just energy, love, and consequently, it is always in motion. It is just that one of the limitations of human life in form is its inability, through its purely physical bodily senses, to be aware of any life that its physical senses cannot perceive. However, There are many among you who are aware of some of the non-physical energies in which you are, as beings of love, fully and eternally immersed. Access to those infinite non-physical realms is available to everyone. But to gain that access, you have to set the intent to engage with it. And then allow yourselves to disregard and ignore the distractions with which your egos are constantly presenting you. Today, I give you the certainty that you are on the good, the right, and the luminous path. I encourage you to continue to keep your mind, soul, and body healthy so that you can provide support, guidance, and a living example to those who look to you. What use are the most beautiful words if there is a lack of action? What good is knowledge from books if you don't have your own experience? Explore yourself and find yourself until external events can no longer unsettle you or distract you from your path. Do you want to be a rock in the surf, a lighthouse in the darkness, an anchor in stormy seas? Then love these days that are now available to you, because neither the fate of humanity nor your own future are predetermined. With each passing day, people's inner strength grows. With each passing day, people begin to work in the vineyard of their soul. With each passing day, more and more people are regaining self-love. The healing things that are currently taking place invisibly will soon determine the game and raise all of humanity to a new level. Don't worry about the earth or the continued existence of humanity, but take full responsibility for your own life. In this way, everything takes its course, destructive potentials are removed, and dystopian scenarios lose their inner powers. Please remember that trying to convert or invalidate the faith of someone who is in a vulnerable place is a betrayal of trust. For professionals, it is malpractice. Even if your personal theology emphasizes conversion, remember that as a professional caregiver, you hold a position of public trust. Do not betray it. There is no harm in praying silently in whatever way feels natural. But when praying aloud, make sure to use neutral language. Or better yet, use the prayer forms and language favored by the tradition of the person you are caring for.